All right. I'm running out of breath.
I need a drink.
I'm running out of breath. What's up, gang? Happy Monday. It's your Monday quarantine episode of Pass the Gravy because a lot of people still are stuck in quarantine. So I'm doing the bonus episodes. I got another guest on. If you listen to the Rod Ryan Show, you already know who this is. It's way long overdue. I've wanted to have this dude on forever. I finally got.
Tessa kept stealing all my shine.
It's all Tessa, but it's the Chile.
What's up, man?
What's happening, bro?
I appreciate you having me on the world famous Pass the Gravy podcast.
I don't know if it's world famous yet. We're working.
Oh, it is because it's on the web. It's worldwide.
Yeah, it's like what Joe Exotic said, right?
Yeah, it's like Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide.
So as long as you have a podcast, if you can download it anywhere, it's worldwide as fuck at that point.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, dude, we're just gonna. I feel like Chile and I have been like. Everybody's been split up from the show lately because I guess we're all returned tomorrow. But Chile and I have been going in every day, and so Chile and I have just been hanging out way more than we've ever hung out before. I feel like so. I was like, well,
it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Rod and Tessa are all right, but like it was kind of like we
ain't as cool as us though.
Just being there, yeah.
We're just
a little bit earlier. We left a little bit earlier. Not that we didn't get work done. We got our work done. We did get the work done.
Alex is you're just like a younger version of myself. You know, I'm the old Alex P. Middleton right there. So we just have fun, man. We think alike on some stuff. So we like that.
We
Southern Star beer.
Yeah, we do like the Southern Star beer, but yeah. So like I feel like with Tessa and Rod, when I had them on the podcast, that I ended up kind of like doing a little bit of interviewing and talking about like how they got where they were. I talked about Tessa being on reality TV and Rod starting in Buffalo and all that. So I kind of wanted to talk to you about like all of your start and how you got into radio. Hey. And originally you were it wasn't La Raza. What was the Spanish station you were on?
Yeah, Mega. I started out on Mega 101 with the Mexicans. With a Z at the end, not an S, a Z.
It was the name of it, yeah.
Yeah, that was the name of the morning show that gave me my shot, man. You know, they were like, man, we feel like we need a street guy, so we need you. You know, he was like, man, you want to try it? And I was like, hell yeah.
How'd you find it? Like, did they contact you or like?
Okay, the whole how I got into radio was funny because I was a bouncer at a nightclub called T-Town on Richmond Street. Okay. So I would bounce, you know, and then there would be like the radio station, Mega 101 would come in and do broadcasts from there. So there was a guy named Freddie, Fast Freddie. So I would ask him, be like, yo, man, you know, how can I get, you know, a job in the radio? I don't want to be on air. You know, I want to just do promotions, drive the vehicle around because I needed a day job, you know, and I was just like, man, I need something for right now. So because I was at nights I was bouncing. So, you know. So I was like, yeah, let's do that. And then he's like, man, just come on through, apply, man, and put me down as reference. Now, I'm real funny when it comes to putting people as reference because I'm like, man, what if, you know, I don't know if you're going to be a good person or a bad person. It's going to look bad on me, you know?
Right.
So when he said that, I was like, are you sure? He was like, yeah, dude, put me down. So that kind of helped me get in, you know? So I got the job, you know, and I was working promotions for like 2 or 3 months. And then it's funny because the morning show, which was Chico and Rascal, the Mexicans, they did something kind of funny, but certain company didn't think it was funny because they were the butt of the joke. And they called and they were like, hey, you know, we didn't appreciate them saying that, so we're going to pull the advertising off of them. And, you know, once in radio, if you cause them to make money, there's an issue.
Or if you cause them to lose money, yeah.
Yeah, so if the company's losing money, you're done. So they kind of made it up to the company. So they had they did the show live from one of the restaurants. And then, you know, they had like a chicken eating contest. Like chicken nuggets or whatever. And I was just like, they were like, dude, we need you to jump in. And I was like, what? Yeah, we need you to do that. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I sat there and I ate, you know. And then ever since then, the guys were like, dude, we like the way you work. Getting sit there and we're like, no, I don't want to do it.
We like the way you eat.
Yeah, they're like, yeah.
You're a great eater. That was awesome.
Yeah, they say it. Plus I won, so
okay,
I got like a year free of free food, so I was good with that.
That's pretty sweet.
And they were just like, man, we like the way you work, your attitude and everything. We want to make you a street guy in the mornings. So I was like, what is that? He's like, man, just don't worry about it. You'll be good, man. I said, all right, cool. So I just saw the bigger picture. I was like, all
Is
right.
street guy like man on the street? Like you would go out and do the
Yeah,
interviews?
like they'll be like, hey, we got some tickets. Go somewhere on this side of town and
Okay.
call us and then be like, hey, I got this tickets to whatever. First person to come right here. I'm at this corner of the street, whatever, blah, 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 gets the tickets. And
Okay.
dude, it would just, people would just show up. And, we give them shirts or whatever after we ran out of tickets. So that's kind of what it was. And then they were like, all right, you're a stunt guy. So basically, if you're at the bottom of the list, so they were like, you know what? We want to do like wax. We want to wax you on air. And I was like, what? Like a Brazilian wax? We did a whole full body on there. And then like I got tasered, They had like every Tuesday they had a.
How was the waxing? How was that does not sound fun at all.
Dude, like the funny thing is they did the wax off. It was between the night guy and myself. And they were like, you better lose to the night guy. You'll never live through this, And I was like, all right. So it was right around the time All-Star Weekend is going to be here in Houston. It's like in 06. And 06. So we started out with an eyebrow. So, boom, eyebrows gone.
Ugh.
Then we went down to chest hair. Then we went down to stomach and then bikini. So both of us didn't quit. We just ran out of time. They were like, all right, we got, so we call it a draw. I was like, but I didn't quit. So I was like, yeah. So it's funny because there was a picture when I took a picture with Fat Joe at one of the clubs I was bouncing at, and I have no eyebrows.
How long did it take your eyebrows to grow back?
Man, about a month or so.
Okay.
But
I always felt like I've heard that like eyebrows don't grow back sometimes.
Nah, man, I was glad they grew back because I looked all weird, man. I was just like, damn.
You don't realize how much eyebrows really like are like an accessory on your face until like you see somebody without them and you're oh wow. What my best friend's girl, that movie with Dane Cook and the guy from Jason Biggs, and he like accidentally trims his eyebrow off, and it's like, dude, that looks so fucking weird. Like,
dude, it's because you're used to seeing everything with hair, like around that area.
Yeah.
And when you see it so like it's like something soft about you, but I just can't put my finger where it's at, So that's what happened, man. So we did that, and it grew back, and then they got let go, and then they kept me. And just kept on working, and then an opportunity came for me to go to the hip hop station here in Houston on 97.9 The Box. So I just did that for about 11 years, man.
Damn, dude.
I was doing it on afternoons with G-Man, and it was we were there for about 11 years. Well, I was there for about 11 years, and it was some fun times, man. I had good experience and everything, but I've always been friends with Rod, so throughout the whole time, there were times to where I was like, Right, I don't think this radio's for me, man. I need to do his own, man. He'd be like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You're good at what you do and all this. He would like guide me through,
Rod's a great mentor. Like there's a lot of times that he kind of helps you through little things like that when you don't I mean, he's helped me through a lot of stuff too. It's like, no, just do this. Just work out this way. Try and go about it this way. And he's very helpful with a lot of that.
Yeah, man. And like the crazy thing is there was a time where a job opportunity came for me to go to LA. Like Big Boy's neighborhood in LA, wow. They were reaching out to me because their stunt guy had left the show. So it's weird, but they were calling me, and I was like, damn. I was like, my name must be out there for like an LA station.
That's badass, yeah.
Number 2 in his Big Boy's neighborhoods of whatever. So we worked through that, and then I was telling Rod, Rod, man, I don't know what to do, and he's like, do you want that job? I was like, well, it's LA, bigger market, and they're syndicated in like 45 cities. I was like, hell yeah, more money. I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, this is what you got to do. And he's like, so he was walking me through it. And then, dude, everything Rod was telling me, it was on point. And even he was like, dude, I don't think you're going to get it. Watch, they're going to come back with this. And sure enough, man, they're like this. But Rod was like helping me on, man.
And he doesn't sugarcoat anything. Like, he tells you how it is. And I think a lot of people, like in radio, there's like two groups of people. I feel like there's the people that are really, actually there's like three. There's the middle group where they don't really know what the fuck they're talking about, and like they just kind of spew shit to you, and you're like, all right, I don't care. Then there's the guys that are just like worked in radio but got sick of it and are just old and curmudgeon-y, and they're like, oh, you don't want to be in this business, get out of here. What are you doing
the
here?
angry ones, they're just mad at the whole world.
And when I worked like the AM sides, there were a lot of people like that, and I was like, dude, I don't want to fucking be like that. I don't ever want to be like that. But then there's the people like Rod where they're like, hey, no, care, let me take you under my wing, let me tell you a couple of things, let me help you out. Like I had a lot of people like that. Like Adam Clanton helped me through a bunch of stuff because I got to work at his show. Doug Pike, when I was working his outdoors show on weekends, like he was always letting me just try stuff out. And there's a lot of people that like, you got to be influenced or have the right people around you, I feel like, to succeed in that business.
And I always believe, like, I always tell people, like, you know, young kids when I see them like in radio, I'll be like, look, man, learn the good from everybody. Don't learn the bad, because everybody's got bad habits. And
the bad is too easy to like learn fast.
Yeah.
You can pick up the bad stuff way easier than you can the good.
It's so easy just to like, oh, this, that, than to try hard, you know? So I was like, just learn the good, man. Leave the bad behind and learn the best. And that's what I always try to do, man. You know, plus, like, one thing, like the Mexicans, the guy Chico and Rascal, when I got the job, they were like, dude, all we want you to do is pay it forward, help somebody out, you know? And that's what I've always tried to do, man. I was like, man, you know, because, you know, I like easily, you know? So they're like, oh, man, I need you to give me $5 for this and this and that, you know? And then they were like, nah, man, we just want you to pay it forward, you know, and just keep doing good, because if you're doing good, you're making us look good, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like that mentality they had, and I learned that. And, dude, I've had my radio career has been good, man. I like it, you know. It's hard to stay relevant and not get in trouble.
Especially now, like, you got to toe that line a lot more than, like, because, like, just thinking back to stuff like when Opie and Anthony did the, like, Sex for Sam stuff, and then they got the people having sex in the cathedral and all that, like, that seemed like that would get you fired at any time, you know? But, like, now it's like you say you like a tweet that somebody doesn't agree with, and they get to the right person, and you're just, that's it for a lot of people.
Well, even for retweeting something that you didn't say, if you retweeted something now, you can get, like, you know, you can have some group come after you, and then, you know, come after where you work, and then the company's like, well, we don't want to deal with this stuff. So
dude, I learned this year not to go after K-pop. I made a joke about, like, when the rodeo got canceled because of Corona, the last band to play was one of those K-pop bands. I was like, did K-pop kill the rodeo? And they were like, how dare you? How dare you? And it's like, there's just K-pop stands that, like, search the word K-pop, and they will attack anybody that is anti it. And they were calling me racist and stuff. I was like, I didn't say anything about it being, like, because they were Korean or anything like that. I was just making a joke that I don't understand the music. I think the music sucks. And I was like, it was so bad, they canceled it because of it.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy nowadays. I always like say, man, if you get easily offended, don't follow me. That's what I say on my stuff. And I say, those are it's like now, even if you have a disclaimer, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I thought, what about retweets or not endorsements? That was a thing. Yeah. This is my own opinions, not my employer's.
Yeah, dude. And I had some people that reached out to me, like, outside of work. Like, they were like, hey, man, there's an opportunity for you to endorse this company. I'd be like, all right, yeah, but man, going down through your social media, man, you say some stuff that's kind of like, nah. I was like, I appreciate you coming out to me, but, you know, you are getting what you're getting. What you see is what you get. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything and try to be
this is how I am. Yeah.
You know, this is who I am. And I was like, dude, you came to me. It's not like I was approaching y'all, begging y'all for, you know. So it's just, you got to learn with it. You got to be like, look.
That's one of my favorite things about you, though. Like, you're like, that's how Chili's the way you're going to get Chili. You're not going to, like, he's not going to change his way for anybody. And I like, that's kind of how I like to think that I go about shit too. Yeah, so, like, that's why, like, I think we're buddies.
Yeah, you just got to be responsible. You know, you can't just sit there and be like, you got to think about what you want to say nowadays, because if you do something that can, this could be taken this way and all that. And, you know, I really don't, most of the time I've always said, man, I don't really care what people think about me, because you know, they're not paying my bills and all this stuff until I got in the radio. Right. So, if you think about it, every time I've never understood why people would be like celebrities. No, I don't want to take a picture with a fan. I don't want to take a picture with a list. You know, it's like I've never understood that. You used to beg people to listen to your music. You used to go like, hey,
Yeah.
here's my CD, man. He's promote, man. I'm gonna have a show. Come see me. You know, listen to my music and all this stuff. And now that they're supporting you, you're like, get away, get out of my face, get out of my face. I don't want to take a picture.
Well, I'd like to
I
think
don't
like,
understand that.
it's got to be a little bit different, like from like, you know, like when we go to Monster Jam, people line up to take pictures with the Rod Ryan show, and it's mostly because of Rod, and we're there too, and people do listen to us, and like I've never turned down a picture because I always think it's
Wow.
awesome. That like I always just like it's a cool moment when anybody ever asks to take a picture. If we're at BuzzFest or anything like that, but I
Yeah.
think that like if you're like a super celebrity, that like that's just got to be all the time. Like you can't go
But
anywhere
that's the
without.
life you wanted. That's the
Right.
life you signed up for. That's what you wanted.
And
You
I guess
get
you just catch
paid.
people on at bad times anytime, you know, like maybe you're going through something right then and it's like, just not right now. I'm just not in the mood, man. But it's like, I understand like the logic. And we are a podcast that has a feud with Kyler Murray now because he snubbed us at an XFL game. So like I am being hypocritical in that, but like, I'd like to think that it's just so much more that like they get that way. But yeah, I understand your argument on it though.
Man, like to me, it's like, look, I could be down eating, drinking a beer, or whatever, and somebody asks me for a picture. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be wiping the food off my mouth and be like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's do it. Because the way I see it is because of that person, I get to pay my light bill or I get to put gas in my car. Because the minute they stop asking you for that, people are gonna be like, well, he's really not popular. He's really not doing it. And so why do we need him? You know?
And I
That's
completely agree.
my way of going through it. That's my mentality. Like, you know how like Jordan, they were like, oh, this guy didn't say hi. He took that personal, and they would be like, I don't know what he's talking about. I said hi to him. It was just Michael Jordan's mentality.
He was just making that, yeah.
To hype himself up. That's how I am. I'm like, man, I'm gonna take a picture with everybody. You know, I don't care if it's late, I gotta go or whatever. Because, you know, after all, it's a blessing for somebody to want to take a picture.
Oh, 100%. And I'm 100% with you in that camp. But I do think there are people that like it goes too far. Like I was at Fogo de Chão one time with my family, and we saw Roger Clemens was like 2 tables over, and like 3 people came to try and take pictures with him, and he just was like, I'm having dinner with my family right now. If you can wait till like afterwards, like I have no problem with walking out, but right now like I'm in the middle of dinner with my family. It's like you're at like a fairly nice restaurant. I understand that, but like I would have been like, yeah, dude, I don't give a shit. Like I would have totally done it, but I'm also not Roger Clemens. There's not people every time I go anywhere doing that.
There's certain unwritten rules to where, yeah, you can go out and when you shouldn't, you know. But you gotta understand, people get excited when they see a celebrity.
And
so they don't think about it, you know. Like even us, when we see a celebrity that comes in for an interview, we're like, hey, can I get a picture?
Because you get that group shot. We get the group shot where we post it, and then sometimes it's like, oh, I really love like Tom Green. I was like, dude, is it cool if I get a picture with just like you and me? He's like, oh yeah, absolutely. Like, not a big deal. But then like I've had people say no. I don't want to name names. I've had some people say no before.
There's some cool people like that, and then there's some uncool people, man. Like when I was working at the hip hop station, man, we had some celebrities. The first time they come in, the first time they come in, that would be cool, man. The second time they would come in, they would be Hollywood, man. You talking about like, hey man, how you doing?
You see those people that when they made it, you're like, okay, somebody made it.
Good. The funny stuff is, man, Soulja Boy, he came in once, and he was like right around Thanksgiving. And, you know, we were working, and then we're like, you know, I would just try to talk to them to try to get them warmed up so by the time we go in the interview on there, they don't sound so whack.
Right.
And then they're like, you know, the whole time I'm talking to him, he's down on his phone like, I was like, hey, man, so how was your Thanksgiving? All right. Yeah. And then his friend would talk to him. He'd be like, yeah. You know, so I was looking at, like, G-Man, like, I got to give G-Man props for that because we looked at each other and he was just like, you know, telling me, because I'm like, hold up, man. We going to do this or not, you know?
Yeah.
He was just kind of like, come down. And dude, we got on the air as soon as the mics come on. He's like, yeah, man, you know, special guest in the studio, but he seems like, I don't know, down, like he's sick or something, because he doesn't want to talk much. Chile's been trying to talk to him, and he's just like, whatever. He's like, oh, no, man, no, you know, it's just that I'm jet lagged, you know, we just got off the private jet and all that. Like, he dude, you see him.
I think he had the private jet flex though.
Yeah,
he had the flex.
yeah,
It was a private jet, not that he just landed.
So the funny thing is, they were videoing, and then, dude, it's on YouTube, dude. Like, you know, he was premiering his new song and whatever. And we are like, hey, tell us a little about your song and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, it's this. And then, like, when we saw the whole documentary he did, he's like on the phone going to the station. Man, did you send them the song? Because I don't want them asking me some stupid question. What's the name of the song? Or what's this? And how I come up with this song? And then he's like, man, I got to go to this radio interview, man. The DJ probably don't know nothing about this. And then we're asking him the same question.
He did exactly what he said.
But it's like, dude, if we don't know, we want to.
Well, and also a lot of times it's like you may know it, but like you're trying to portray it to people that are potentially not knowing it. So it's like if we premiere a song, we're like, yeah, like I could have already heard the song, but it's like we got to hype it up to people that are like, oh, I've never heard this new insert band song. Like, okay, like what do I need to know about it?
Yeah, so it was just like that's the most memorable thing that we have because once he called him out on the air and checked him on the air, he turned around so it was cool. And then you know, just man, sometimes there'd be some. I tell you, I was high most of the time. They would come in because dude, it would be smelling like weed. Like they get out and he was like, they had the strongest weed ever, dude. And I would just be in the studio like,
getting second hand.
Dude, contact and all that, man. I was just like, hey, man. So, it was just fun, man. It was a good time, man. It was a good time. Had it, enjoyed it. You know, got to meet a lot of celebs that I would have never gotten to meet, you know. So it was cool.
Who was the coolest person that you met?
Oh, man, there were a lot, dude. Like 50 Cent was real cool.
Oh, yeah?
50 Cent's very cool, man. Very cool, dude. P. Diddy was cool. Nicki Minaj was cool, man, you know.
Okay.
By the way, I was the first man boob she ever signed, dude. Because, you know, Nicki Minaj would always go sign her fans, like the females' fans. She would sign her boob. So I asked her about that, and she's like, yeah. And I was like, well, why don't you sign my man boob? I want to be the first man boob, you know. And she signed it. It's on video and everything. So I claimed that. Yeah. But, dude, Megan Good was pretty cool. You know, dude, wrestlers like Rey Mysterio was real cool. MVP, you know.
Did Rey come in with the mask on?
Yeah, he came in with a mask. But he took it off, you know, when nobody was around. But, you know, it's like a lot of people were cool. And then there were some people that were just like, yeah, you know, like Kendrick Lamar was cool. You know, he was cool as hell. You know, I kept bugging him the whole time during the interview. I was like, hey, yo, so man, can you call like Eminem right now? He was like, nah, man, he's busy. I was just off air though. I was bugging him like that.
Dude, no, here's the best thing you do with those. Like this is a little life hack for you that I've learned. You always are like, well, who's the most famous person in your phone? And they'll be like, oh, probably the names people. You want to call them?
Yeah.
You want to call them right now? And then like usually they say no, but like maybe then you get to talk to that person.
You know who did that though?
Who?
Comedian Corey Holcomb.
Oh, really?
It's hilarious. So, dude is hilarious. He was cool. So, we're sitting there talking and, you know, just clowning. And then he's like, yo, Shaq just texted me. Then Shaq was in Houston and he was driving around listening. And he said, yo, he wants to call in. We're like, hell yeah, call in. And that was around the time that the Rockets signed Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
And then, you know, how he was like, I don't know why he want to go a little city, you know? And then, you know, so they kept talking, dude. They were going at each other, you know, making jokes and everything. And it was funny. And then towards the end, I say, hey, G-Man asked him, hey, man, what you think about the Rockets, you know, signing Dwight and everything? He's like, oh, you know, I like Hakeem Olajuwon. That's all he said.
That's it.
Shaquille just said, I like Hakeem Olajuwon. You know, we were laughing. And then I just jumped in there and I said, not bad for a little city, huh? And then Shaq goes, wait a minute. I said, which city was bigger, LA or Houston? That's what I said. Thank you. Bye. Boom. And I was like, dude.
Whatever, Kazam.
Yeah, dude. It was just funny, but it was just like, you had some good radio sometimes. And then, you know.
Dude, yeah.
Like, that's those are like times where you're like, dude, this interview was fun. But it was out of nowhere. Corey just goes, hey, Shaq's riding around, man. You know, yeah. he wants to call in, and we're like, yeah, and because Corey Holcomb was at the Improv that weekend, and Shaquille was doing his Shaq All Stars at a different place, and then you hear Corey Holcomb, yeah, man, come on, Shaq, call. So while they were on, I figure I'll let Shaq give him a little airtime because, he's got this little comedy show he's doing. It's probably going to be empty because everybody's on my spot today. He's just clowning him, man. And it was just funny. I had fun times like that, man. So, it's
That
fun.
is pretty tight, though. That is
Plus,
pretty tight.
when you're doing something you like and you're getting paid for it, man, I'm like, come on, man.
You just randomly get to talk to Shaq. Yeah, that's a good day.
Whenever he tells you to shut up or he's coming over to beat you up and stuff, I'm like, oh, okay. 6'7" or 7 foot tall against a little midget like me. All right, let's roll.
Let's just hope it doesn't come down to free throws.
No, I don't know, man. I think he still might get me on that.
He may. I don't think I'm that good at free throws either.
Nah, but, cool. That was my whole career in radio, and I've been here now with the Rod Ryan Show, so I had fun.
It's been a lot of fun with you on the show for sure. So you said you started out like bouncing before you got into radio. Like that's one of the craziest jobs to me ever. Just because like I'm obviously a very small person, so I would never be picked to be a bouncer. But like, is it badass being a bouncer? Do you like that authority? Like you're like, nah, dude.
No, because like it was crazy. Like I guess like back in like 80s and stuff like that, bouncers, you could beat up anybody and kick them out or whatever. But then like it got to where like they were getting lawsuits and stuff like that. So it's like when like if I would be breaking up a fight and they hit me and I hit the dude back, he could press charges on me, and then I could go to jail, all this stuff. So that's when I was like, screw that, man. I'm not gonna go jail for doing a job that I'm supposed to do. So you kind of had to like restrain yourself and stuff, man. I'm telling you, man, the worst fights I ever had to break up was some female fights, man.
That's dude. The craziest fights I've seen, like in college, the one bar that we had really to go to was called Shenanigans and Confetti's Beach Club, and they had this little catwalk, and just the two craziest fights I ever saw were chick fights. And my God, they're fucking grabbing hair, they're clawing, they're ruthless.
Dude, like
guys usually it's like they just gas themselves out and everything like that. Somebody gets taken down, and it's kind of like, all right, we could go our separate ways. Chicks, no way. No way.
Like, when it's a fight and it's a female and you try to be like, kind of like, I don't want to grab her because then if it looks like you're grabbing her too rough or whatever, then I was just like, man. So I would grab a girl and then I would just grab her by the arms and try to like restrain her like by the arms like that and walk her in front of me. Dude, one of them, I did that and one of them just reached around and just wham, back into me right in the nuts. Oh, the worst ever, dude. I was like, I hit the high notes, bro.
Oh, I bet, dude. You can't not.
Yeah, because you can't do nothing to them. You're just like, and but the thing is, everybody thinks bouncing is like, you gotta be good fighter and all that stuff. No, I mean, dude, usually, you go in, you grab one guy, and then the rest of the bouncers come in and they grab somebody else, So it's not like, it's kind of like a science, but not a science, you can't just go in by yourself at first and then,
right.
You got to see once your friend's there, you jump in and do all that. I've had a beer bottle broken on my head because I went in and I grabbed the dude and it was funny because I was coming out of the office and then I closing the door from the office to the club and they're fighting right in front of me. So I just grabbed one guy and then when I grabbed him, his friend just comes and he hits me with a beer bottle and I start feeling like just hot. And I was like, I'm bleeding. And I got mad. And, so I felt like people were hitting me. But then that's when everybody, like my friends, the other bouncers came in and everything. But sometimes, man, it's your day and it's not, So
it's just always like that. Like, I don't know why there's not a TV show about bouncers because I feel like they do. And like you come in contact with a bunch of crazy shit. Maybe not on a regular basis, but everybody's got like a crazy story. Like, what is your craziest thing that you've seen happen while bouncing? Because like you had to see some crazy shit, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I saw like a lot. It's too many. Okay, fights as far to where we were like, we're gonna get beat up right here. Was when there was a private party, which was like a college party. They rented out the club, and it was TSU and the whole TSU football team is there, and
Shout out Michael Strahan.
yeah, it was
Probably not
he was
not
already in
his
the
day.
NFL
Yeah.
at that time. Yeah, so but they were there, and one of the wide receivers, like the star wide receiver for them, was being a little jerk, and then one of the cops grabbed him, and then you see the whole football squad just surround the cop, and then all of a sudden we hear somebody on the radio, "Hey, HPD needs help right here," blah blah blah. So then you see all the bouncers run, and we're up against like a wall, and we kind of pushed them back a little bit. But then I'm looking at the lineman, and I'm looking up like, "Hey, dude, how you doing?"
Yeah, those guys push people for their a living, basically.
But it's like they're big and taller than us, so we're just like, screw this. So it was like a face-off, and luckily one of the cops, like an older cop, we used to call him Seabass. He was bald-headed, he got a country mustache, and he had that deep. We used to call him Stone Cold because that's how he kind of looked. So he comes in and he grabs one of them dudes and goes, "Hey, let me talk to you outside real quick." Then all of a sudden that dude comes back in and he's like, "Hey, buddy, let's go, man. Let's go party again. Let's go." We were like, "Woo!" We're like, "See, man, why'd you tell him?" He said, "Man, I'm too old to fight. All this stuff. There's a couple of y'all looking like y'all might go to the NFL. Well, we take a couple knees out. There's going to be a couple that are not going." And that's all he said. And they're like, "Oh, no, we good, man. Let's go."
Yeah, that's all you needed. That's all you needed.
So that was one of the crazy stories. Then it was like, oh, dude. When P. Diddy came to the club, Puffy.
Was that at Hush then?
No, it was at T-Town.
Okay.
This was at T-Town.
Because I know he used to own Hush, right?
No, it was company I worked for was Triangle at the time, Triangle Entertainment. They own Roxy, T-Town, Drink Houston.
Okay.
So, when they were there, so it was a private party, like somebody rented the club and they brought P. Diddy to it on a Thursday night. And because usually we would be open on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So they rented it on a Thursday night. Dude, they just went around like P. Diddy's private security just goes and looks and he goes, you, and you, y'all working with me. Because he just went down and picked the biggest bouncers we have.
Smart.
The biggest ones. And
that's what I would do.
Y'all are with me the whole night. Everybody else do whatever. So we had a couple friends that two of them that played football for, played college football. So they were there. And then there were just some huge dudes, other huge dudes there. And they had them in the VIP room, form a line, just like a chain line right there. And they were like, all right, nobody gets past, And it was funny because girls would do anything to get in the VIP room. Dude, I remember just walking around and then I see one girl pulling down one of those bouncers' zipper and starts just going down on his junk. And
I guess what you gotta do.
She just wanted to go in there and was doing whatever he had to do to go.
As long as she's consenting, we're all for it, right?
Hey, no, man. We were just like, hey, dude, stop. And then he's like getting his radio. Hey, somebody come get this girl off me. We were just laughing. I mean, we had some crazy stories, man. It was just, some of them you just can't say it out no more, So it was, but that was just some of the crazy stuff that I saw. And then some of the, it was.
Was Diddy wearing like a fur coat? Did he have some sort of I always feel like he's always wearing that like white fur coat from that music video.
I didn't see it then. I think it was right around the times it was like about, I want to say 2004 or 5. Around
Bad Boys for Life.
Yeah, around that time. So, dude, it was just like, who knows, man? It was just so crazy that the club held like about 2,000 people. And it was like about 3,000 to 4,000 people trying to get in, because that was a place to be that night. And it was just crazy, man. It was, let's just say that when we had those there, we were like, oh, dude, I'm so glad this is over. Because it would be fights. You had the guys that are trying to be like, oh, I'm somebody big too, blah, blah, blah. And then they would be like, trying to buy bottles in the club and then trying to send one to somebody, and if somebody didn't accept it, they were like, oh, we're offended. So then they started fighting and stuff like that. So it was just dumb, man. We would always tell the DJ, don't play Ludacris move, bitch, get out the way, because that will start a fight. They like,
That's
like it
fair.
started. There were some hip hop songs that were like, don't play this because there will be a fight. And then there were some DJs that didn't care. They would just play whatever they wanted, and boom, there we go. Fights. All you hear is, I need security over here. By that time, I was working the door, so I didn't have to I didn't have to go most of the time, so I was good at that time. It was fun.
Like, how late do you stay as about? Like, wait, would you just stay and then do you help out too? Like, help clean up, or are you just out after?
Oh no, man, we had stuff to do. So, we would have to be there like about an hour and a half before the club would open to set up and everything. And then we would we didn't get out of there till like 3 a.m. Like the clubs would close at 2, get out to 3 a.m. And, so you're getting home like 3:30 to 4. And, it's a tough lifestyle because, you're partying a lot and stuff like that. And then you're going to work late, getting up late. Oh, gotta go to work again. So days just go by so fast. There was like 1 year I think we were partying like 7 days out of the whole week.
Every fucking day.
7 days, dude. It was like, so Mondays we would go to Sam's Boat for they used to have like cheap wings and pitchers of beer. So we would go there, Monday Night Football, go eat, drink, eat, whatever, get drunk. Tuesdays, we would go to like, I think, Roxy for industry night. So we would go there for cheap nights, cheap drinks and everything. Wednesday, we had work. Thursdays, we would go hang out at any club. Fridays, we would be at work. Saturdays, we'd be at work. Sundays, we would do day and we never, oh man, it was just crazy for like a whole year. So it was crazy. That's like, I guess my 22nd, when I was 22, all a blur.
It was like a day, basically.
Yeah, it was like, it
was a 1 day long year.
Yeah, so it was crazy like that, man. But it was fun. No, that was just like my early 20s and stuff. And then once I got to like mid 20s, that's when I started getting into radio and stuff. So
okay,
yeah.
Well, speaking of getting into of like radio and everything, one thing that we've been kind of doing as a morning show is this Crawfish Streak. Now, a couple of years ago, I became I anointed myself the cow ripkin of crawfish, and since nobody had ever said what the longest consecutive crawfish eating streak was, I just started one. I went 22 consecutive weeks. I think you hold
the record now, right?
22 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
So we are right now on week 17, about to be 18. I'm going to get my crawfish tonight before we do this. And actually, we have our co-host on the Rod Ryan Show, Tessa Barrera.
Oh.
Why don't we have her just join us to talk about this for just a second? I think she's trying to join the chat. Yeah, there she is.
There it is. Oh my God, I'm scared.
Well, look who it is. She's connecting to audio right now. If you could just hurry the fuck up, we can
Actually,
hear her,
that's
maybe.
Better, man, that we can't hear her. It's probably the best.
Connecting to audio.
The audio doesn't work.
Did not connect to audio. Tessa did not connect to audio.
Thank you, baby Jesus.
Wow, Tessa. She's just looking at us like an idiot right now. She's connecting to audio. Oh, okay. There we go.
Oh, she's.
Hey, Tessa.
Whatever. Do you guys miss me?
No.
Why not?
Because.
Well, I'm going to see you tomorrow, and I can't wait.
I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So, Tessa, we were just talking about the Crawfish Streak. So you're hopping on board the Cal Ripken of Crawfish with his streak. We are. I don't know if you've had your 18th week yet already. I'm having mine tonight. So we're going on 18, right? So we're all doing this Crawfish Challenge.
That's right.
Including Tessa.
I mean, we're not going to let a pandemic get in the way of deliciousness. I have been trying to mix it up, but usually I just go BB. So now it's just before I was I'm going to try a bunch of different things. And now I'm just let me stick with just eating the crawfish once a week. And BB's is so good. So.
All right. Well, that's Tessa.
They've been having good ones.
Thanks for joining us, Tessa.
Thanks for having me. I know.
We really just wanted to bring her on so we could hang up on her. That's really what Chile and I were talking about before. I was we're just going to call her for a second, bait her in with the crawfish thing, which is actually happening. It is happening, but I just wanted to hang up on Tessa. Really.
She always steals our shine anyway, so that's why,
She's mean to us. She's very rude. I don't know if you saw our Instagram post earlier from Friday where she just was rude to us, and we posted it. So now she's exposed. We had to expose her. All right.
tomorrow she's probably gonna hit us upside the head for that. Like, why y'all hang up on me?
She's very violent towards us a
Yeah.
lot of times, but you know what? Here we are, just persevering, right? No, we're not gonna let her keep us down, man.
No, we're not. Let me ask you something, Alex.
All right.
So, like, how many podcasts? You got like over 300 episodes, right?
This is 348 that we're recording right now.
All right. So when did you decide you wanted to start a podcast, and how did it come about? Because I know, everybody nowadays is like, man, I'm gonna start a podcast, and there's no right way or wrong way to do a podcast, basically. But I mean, it's hard to stay consistent, doing podcasts.
Yeah. Well, like I was working on the AM side of the radio. I was working on Sports Talk 790, and I was running Rockets and Astros games, and I ran an outdoor show called the Doug Pike Show on weekend mornings on Saturdays and Sundays. And then there was a point where I was doing Adam Clayton's night show he would do while that was on, and I got to be his producer, and he kind of let me like talk on air with him a lot. And then I don't know. I just wanted to be on air. I've always wanted to be on air since I got into radio, because like I always listened to sports talk. I always was really into sports and was like, that's kind of what I would like to do. Rod Ryan kind of made me want to go into radio because I used to listen to him, and I was like, he's got an awesome job. That would be tight. And then I kind of focused in on sports radio because I thought that was more in my wheelhouse. And I just couldn't get any airtime. I would talk to like program directors, like, hey man, like if I just did this, like I'll do the show for free. Can I have like 1 hour on Saturdays? And I understand why they were like, no, we have no idea how you sound. Like, why would we do that? It was like, I just couldn't get anything. And then I was listening to Jay Moore on something, and Jay Moore, the comedian, he used to have his own sports talk show. And I was like, that's cool. Like he can do that. And he would always promote his podcast. And I was just like, I don't know, maybe like, he said something along the lines like, just go fucking do it. Like, if you want to do something, just go fucking do it. And I was like, okay, like maybe nobody's going to listen to it, but if I can like in radio, you need a demo tape, and you don't really get a demo tape if you haven't been on air in any capacity really. And so I wanted to have my own thing where I could spin it the way I wanted to. And I used to play Xbox, or I still play Xbox a lot, but I used to play Grand Theft Auto with my friend Curtis, and we would just talk shit, and like we were just dicks to each other. And I was like, we should record this. This would be funny. And then we kind of figured out, like, we got to be talking about specific things. We got to be able to fill an hour. We got to do this. Yeah. And so that's kind of how Pass the Gravy came along. And it was just like, that way I have passthegravypod.com. If they're like on a resume, I can be like, well, actually, here's this many hours of me talking. And yes, I curse and I do that, but I can also censor it for radio because I know how to act on a mic. I've only cursed once on air.
Same here. I cursed a couple times, but luckily for technology, we're able to drop it.
Yeah, we do have that dump button. But yeah, the consistency part is the hardest part. Like, that's kind of why Curtis was no longer with us after a little bit. He just was working too much. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, he's got to make that money. We just, our schedules just didn't match up. And then we've had, like, John moved to Austin, and we had a couple of guys we've lost, like, via that. But I don't know. It's just always been, like, my, like, I look forward to it every week because it's kind of like, I love the Rod Ryan show and it's awesome doing that. But like the Pass the Gravy is kind of like, I can talk about gambling. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And like some of the stuff like I probably shouldn't talk about on radio. So it's like, I enjoy getting to kind of just like, and a lot of it, like we turned it like not cool that we'll do here in a little bit is really where I just bitch about stuff that happened to me during the week. And it's like, it's a little therapeutic to just get to go vent and go off on shit.
Yeah, dude. And like the crazy thing about it is in radio, you have to stick like time, because you got to play the commercials and everything. Mm-hmm. So you got to stick to like a time. Like, all right, you can't take forever to get your point across. You got to be like, all right, man, one thought, let's go. So it's radio is hard because, first of all, my first time I got to speak on radio, I was like, I sounded so dumb because automatically I started thinking in my head, oh my God, all my friends are going to make fun of me if I sound dumb.
Oh, yeah, I just know I sound dumb now. I just accepted it.
Yeah, and that's the best thing I've ever did, too, because I was like, man, I don't care how people say I sound or whatever nowadays, because when you start caring, you're going to be like, I love turtles.
Yeah, and it just –
So it's like –
I think fear is a good thing. Like people are always like, I don't know, like fear is a good motivator for me in a lot of ways where like my fear of stuff makes me kind of want to do things that like, it's like, I was afraid of hearing my own voice, but like I work on our show after the show, I have to edit all the audio. So I hear my voice all the fucking time. So it's like, if I'm going to hate my voice, I got to get over it because I'm going to be dealing with it too much.
The funny thing is like in radio, man, we are our own worst critics. You
Oh
know,
yeah, oh yeah.
because I'm
Well,
like,
I
oh,
think
God,
good people are. I'm not saying I'm good, but like the people that I believe are good, like those are their own biggest critics. Like Rod is
yeah,
the biggest critic of himself, and Rod is awesome at radio. And like it's the people that are like, dude, that sounded dope. Like I was awesome, and you're like, that wasn't really that great. Like those people are the ones where you're just like, I don't know about that.
dude, it's like it's funny because when I was doing, I was filling in at the hip hop station when G-Man would be out, and we were doing like a mix show, and I would be like, yeah, you know, blah 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 blah. All right, let's get back into the mix because I was like, I don't know what to say, so I don't want to say nothing stupid. So I was like, let's keep it short and sweet. Boom, and then you have like a radio legend that worked at Magic 102. You know, they got this smooth voice like, hey, buddy, yeah, you know
Dude, I
that
hate people that have awesome radio voices. I'm so
good.
jealous of it.
And they're natural. Then they're not making it up or anything. They just got the voice. He would come in and he would just came in and be like, let me shake your hand, man. That was a badass radio break. I was just like, thank you. You know,
Right.
because I'm like, I thought it sounded crappy because there was no thought about it. He was just like, all right, man, you know, blah, blah, blah. Call us right now. Tell us what song you want to hear. We'll try to throw it in the mix for you right now. Let's get back in the mix with GT, the only DJ that gives a jam right here on 97.9 Bloom, you know? And that was it. So I was just like, man, I sounded so whack, so basic. I can do, you know? And it's like, they come in, they're like, man, that was a badass break, man. It was clean, smooth. You didn't stumble, you know, you didn't do nothing. And you know, so it's like, I was like, okay. You know, my old PD, man, Terry Thomas, she used to say, like, she used to be like, okay, she was a good coach, man, because she was good. She still is. She would be like, think of a break as a sandwich. You
Okay,
know,
I like sandwiches.
I ate
Big
that
sandwich
mother
guy.
already. And she's like, no, just think about it as a sandwich. Your first layer of bread is you opening up the mic, like saying, hey, what's up, everyone? You know, blah, 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 blah. Your lettuce, your meat, your tomato, bacon, whatever, that's what you're talking about during your break. So it'll be like, hey, y'all, man, thank you for listening to us. You know, like, let's just say, hey, 94.5 The Buzz. That's the first layer of bread right there.
Right.
It's Alex, Chile, you know, right here. Then your meat and all that stuff, it's whatever your thought is going to be like. Hey, that was the latest song by Blue October, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, Blue October's got a movie coming out. Make sure you get all the details on thebuzz.com. That's your meat and all that stuff. Now let's get back into the music. Here is our boys, our friends, Hold On Hollywood, you know, with their latest song, Chase. Boom.
Right.
Close it. That's the other side of bread. So that's kind of like when she broke it down to me, I was like, oh, that's right. You know, that makes
It does
sense.
simplify it a bunch.
Yeah, she basically said, okay, look here, idiot. We're going to put it down to your level. And she did it, and I understood it. So every time I would do a break, I would always start out with the radio station first, the song that we just finished playing, and then, all right, make sure, like, you'll be like, hey, did y'all check out the Instagram Thursday? It's up on at thebuzz.com right now. Make sure y'all go check it out, and let me know what you think of her. Right now, we're getting back into this song. Here on 94.5 The Buzz. Blim. That's it. And I was just like, okay. So ever since then, when she said that, I kind of like, that's how I would practice my breaks and everything. So it kind of helped me out because before I was like, try to make a joke, try to do this.
Yeah, you get too formulaic, so it's like the same thing over and over again. But that goes back to like, it's good to have somebody that's willing to mentor you that knows what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, man. And I mean, dude, I sound rough. I still, to this day, I still think by myself doing a radio show, I get nervous. But if I have somebody in there to bounce back and forth, I'm good.
That's how I am with like podcast. Like I think I've done one podcast ever by myself, and that was our Pass the Gravy Bro Big Brother recap, and that was because Emma fell asleep, and like my other guy that does the co-hosting couldn't do it that night, and I was like, fuck it, I just gotta ramble through it, and did like 30 minutes. I was recapping a TV show, but like I think like people like Bill Burr that does like a podcast by himself every single week for over an hour, like that is skill to me that you can just be talking and talking.
A lot of it is just BSing, man, but you gotta be
you gotta be good about it because a lot of people don't want to listen to just nonsense.
Yeah, and it's real easy for people to start ranting about different stuff. Yeah, and that makes sense because if you're gonna be like, oh yeah, what about this? Oh yeah, what about that? You know, and you're just like, you listen. People got a short span, you know. Mm-hmm. if they like, I don't know, let me go to the next podcast or something like that, you know. So you got to keep them entertained, and that's why I'm like, man, 346. That's pretty rough, man. Because when I was doing the podcast with Paul Wall, man, we were
you
like,
did do one with your buddy Paul Wall, the
Yeah,
Chile and the Champ show.
yeah. When we did that, we discovered we're like, all right, let's do like about 45 to an hour. That's it. You don't want to go over that. We were just talking, you know, but we would just talk about everything. It would just, for us,
That's kind of what we do. Yeah.
Yeah, just shooting the shit, basically. That's how it was. And then our schedules just started, like, I started working on on Rod Ryan show, and I got busy. And then, you know, he was doing this, and then our schedules in. So we just kind of had to like, hey, man, we got to do what we got to do, you know.
That is the hard part about that stuff. Like, that's kind of like I said with like Curtis when we first started the podcast, it just didn't work out because our schedules just kind of got mixed and matched, and like you just got to figure like because to me like I as somebody that does listen to podcasts, I expect them to come out on like the same days. Like I get excited when I know like it comes out on Monday, and so like for me, I'm like I want people to have a time in their head where like Pastor Gravy's every Wednesday. Pastor Gravy's gonna come out late, or it's my Thursday podcast I'll listen to, and like now with the quarantine, okay, Monday mornings. I know on my way to work, I could tune into Pastor Gravy's quarantine episode.
Yeah. And that's what's crazy. Like you said, man, listeners, like podcast people want to, like if you tell them, hey, the podcast is going to be up Monday, you better be up Monday.
Well, yeah, on the Rod Ryan show, like we do the podcast of the replay of the show every single day. And believe me, if I don't have it up by 10:30, people are like, dude, where's the replay? Where's the podcast, man? Where's the podcast? I'm like, I promise I'm working on it. And it's like, I love it. I love that people like are planning on listening to it. Like that makes you feel good. They feel like, dude, where is it? I was like, I'm putting it up. Oh, hang tight.
Yeah.
Sometimes we call into meetings. Sometimes other stuff happens. But I don't ever think they're being dicks. I always am just like, no, I'm working on it, man.
It's just part of the routines, man.
Yeah, and I get like, because sometimes when that fucks up your routine, you're like, no, what's up?
Yeah. That's why people don't, like, it's funny because, you know, I see a lot of people, like, I feel like podcasts are what mixtapes in the hip-hop industry are now. Everyone got a mixtape, you know?
Yeah, everybody does a podcast, especially in this quarantine where everybody's been just kind of stuck at home. People get bored and do it. Like, it is good. I think that everybody should, like, we always talk about, like, this is America. Everybody has a voice. But then, like, there's people that'll exercise it for a little bit sometimes, and then they just kind of get bored with it. And it's like, no, if you want to exercise your voice, exercise your voice.
Yeah.
I mean, whether or not there's scheduling conflicts or anything, like obviously, like with your situation and like a lot of situations, the schedules might not mix up. But it's like you gotta, like, I don't know.
This makes it easier because it's like a video, you know.
Yeah, and I think Zoom has really helped everything.
It's whenever you have to go to one place and getting the people in one place, you know, man, and every time.
But nothing sounds as good to me as everybody being in the same area. You know?
Yeah. Plus, you know, podcasts it's just fun, man. They're fun. And I'm just like, man, everybody has one. And I'm like, man, if I have to start a podcast, I have to start from episode 1 again. And, you know, plus then scheduling. Like, another thing is trying to schedule like a guest. You know, you got to work with their schedule and, you know.
That's why I don't typically do too many, like, when there's not, like, a fucking global pandemic. Because just, like that was one of the things I was like, if I'm going to give extra content, I'd rather have, like, a guest on. Because now people are more free than they've ever been because they're at home all the time. So it's like you can probably like Dusty Rhodes, who we just had on, comedian Dusty Rhodes last week. It was like I had been trying to get her on for a couple of months, and just she runs this open mic in Rudyard's in Montrose, and it was like she was always very busy. She's a teacher, so she was doing all that kind of stuff, and it was just like it never just we couldn't match our schedules up. But then when this whole thing happened, I was like, hey Dusty, are you still doing all this stuff? You think you got some time for me? And she was like, oh, absolutely, let's do it. Like, let's get it done.
But that was a blonde lady you had on, right?
No, that was Ivory Hecker. Dusty was last week, curly hair.
Okay. Because I was like, man, dude, so comedy. I tried a little bit of comedy when I was not employed at the time. That's hard, man. Comedy is difficult.
Well, because it's anything. It's literally anything, but you've got to be able to carry on a conversation, and you've got to be able to make it appealing to people. And a lot of people, like, as weird as it, like, there's a lot of people don't know how to tell stories. A lot of people don't know how to carry conversations, and you have to be able to like, carry conversations on your own. It's like I was saying about how hard it is to do a podcast by yourself. Like standing up on stage, like you are making every piece of content at that point in time. Like,
and if you get nervous, is the worst. Like so I was going at the Improv for open mic. You know, shout out to Ali Sadiq, comedian from Houston.
I love Ali Sadiq.
He's been trying to get me to work with him since 2007 or 8. And he was like, dude, I can take you under my wing and you'll be like a comedian and everything. I'll help you. And my biggest fault, like, I was like, dude, I don't know how to write a joke, you know? Because what I think is funny is like, no, man, I can write a joke and then I'll give it to some comedian to edit it. Dude, it'd probably be like, dude, you only got one word in here. You know what I'm saying? Because everything else is like unnecessary, you know?
Right.
So that's why, and then I was like, man, I don't know how to write a joke, man. I just don't know. He's like, but you're a naturally funny guy. That's what he would tell me. And I'd be like, yeah, but I just kept like, yeah, man, yeah, you know, right now I'm busy. I kept putting them off. Finally, you know, and I knew he was always trying to help me. And then I just didn't believe in myself about it. So then I was like, man, you know what? Let me go try this. And I went to the improv, dude, and they were like, all right, we'll put you on main stage. I was like, whoa, hold on. I was like, I can't even do 5 minutes, you know, put me like with a, you know, because they have like open
Will they give you 3?
No, but they put you like, you know, where the bar area is.
Oh, yeah.
They'll have it for like the people that want to try their jokes and whatever. And then if you're good enough, they'll be like, all right, we'll ask you to put you in the main stage. But they were like, oh, we'll put you on there. I was like, no.
Yeah, let me start small here.
Yeah, let's just kind of like, hey, baby steps here, you know. And then I had another comedian try to help me out, you know, and then I was just like, man. So he would be like, all right, come over to my place, and then we'll just shoot some stuff here and there. But it's just hard coming out with the material, man. It's just,
yeah, and it's crazy how just like some people use everyday things that they see. Some people, like Dusty last week, was talking about how she just uses teaching and she doesn't really watch TV too much, so she just uses her teaching and like other things that she just comes across. And like I think it's interesting because everybody's got a different perspective on the world, you know. And especially Ali. Ali's been to fucking prison. Ali's got all those awesome stories that like I saw him on This Is Not Happening, the Ari Shaffir show on Comedy Central, and I was like, fuck, that guy's from Houston. I had no idea. And like I've been a huge fan of Ali since then.
Dude, he's had his own comedy special by himself and everything. Dude, he's got a joke that it's funny because he would always tell me Mexicans got on boots.
Mexicans knocking boots, yeah.
And I'll be like, what the hell are you talking about? And he's like, dude, just go listen to this joke, dude. And then, dude,
that was the joke he told that like I got hooked on him for.
Yeah. It's funny because it's like Mexicans got on boots. And the whole story, dude, you're so entertained by it. And in the end, you're like, what the fuck?
Just go Google Ali Sadiq Mexicans boots and on YouTube. And I guarantee that'll pop up and you'll thank us later. That's a fucking hilarious joke.
Dude, like, he was funny. And then,
story,
dude,
not just a joke.
And then, like, you know, I like Corey Holcomb because he's so down to earth. Like, I sent him a direct message on Twitter and I said, yo, you know, I'm thinking about doing this and that. What do you recommend? And he replied back, you know, he's like, oh, what's up, Chile? You know, he's like, how's H-Town? I was like, man, it's good. You know, I'm thinking about doing a little comedy. You got any advice for me? And he was like, be truthful. He's like, be truthful. The truth, you know. I was like, oh, crap. I was like, what do I got to say here? And stuff. And dude, it was just like, yeah. But when I did one, I remember like the joke I did, it was just fun. It was stupid. In my mind, it was funny.
How did it go, though? Did you get any laughs?
I don't know, because you know when everybody is listening to you, they all think everybody in that room right there thinks they're the funniest person in there.
Oh yeah.
So whenever you say something, they'll be like,
they don't give you anything.
Yeah, they don't give you the props, you know. So it was around the time everybody was doing the gender reveals.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I just went in there. I was like, man, people are getting out of hand with this damn gender reveals, man. Like the other day, I saw in the backwoods of Louisiana, I see this dude with an alligator trying to open the alligator's mouth and throw a balloon in there so when it would pop, you would see if it was pink or blue. You know? I'm like, I'm about 300 pounds. I'm not the fastest dude ever, you know? This dude was bigger than 300 pounds.
Alligator would fuck you up.
Yeah, if that alligator decides to go at you, you're gonna be a nice meal for him. And then especially when you're going down on a knee, you know. And I said that, and then once my mistake is I was looking at people's eyes, at their faces, and then they were just kind of like tuning out and stuff. And then I was just like, yeah, this joke kind of sucked. Let me get out of it, you know, whatever. And then I just ended up bombing.
Dude, we should definitely go try that again, though. That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Dude, I think it's funny, dude. Like, there's so many jokes out there that is funny, and but it's just hard, dude. Like, I've hosted.
But you got to do it a lot. You got to be consistent about it, because unless you
yeah.
keep doing the repetitions, like, you're not going to get better at it. And you
Yeah,
got to do
I
it in
hosted
front of people,
one.
because you can do comedy in front of a mirror, but you got to do it in front of other people that aren't your friends to kind of feel like if other people are going to get it.
And that's the funny thing is, like, when you said everybody thinks you're funny. Yeah, that's your family and friends.
Yeah, they like you.
Yeah, everybody
I
else.
don't know you. I got to think you're funny when I don't know you.
Yeah, dude. And I've seen, like, dude, like, ever since then, I was like, yeah, this ain't for me, man. This ain't for me.
It's cool that you tried it, and it's a scary thing, but, like, it's cool that you put yourself out there.
Dude, like, even like the comedians, they've even said, man, I bombed so bad, dude.
You're always gonna bomb. You're always gonna bomb.
Yeah, he's
no matter
like, dude,
who you are.
He said that's part of it. It builds you, kind of helps you, and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, I'm not good with this, man. I'm like, yeah, let me just go back to do what I got to do, man. But it's just funny, dude. Like, it's just you just gotta be dedicated to it, man. Like the
100%.
podcast, you gotta be dedicated to it, and that's the thing. It's like if you get easily discouraged, comedy, podcasting, all that, it's not for you, man. You better have tough skin and get ready to go.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And it's like, to me, I don't know. I always think that, like, with the podcast, like, if I'm producing content, I always joke about, like, no, I'm making content. I'm making content. And it's like, I do the race wars just because I'm like, that's all I got in this business right now. It's just like, what can you look me up and find? Like, because it's like what you were saying, like, when people stop caring, like, then you just fade away into oblivion, And, like, it's like, all right, I've got these race wars where we don't have any sports. You can watch me race Hot Wheels. I'm going to try and do a podcast 2 times a week now. So now you got these 2 things you can check me out on the morning show. So, like, that's just, like, my idea is just to get my name out there as many possible times as I can.
See, you're
whether
doing
it's me
it
being
right,
a narcissist or not. Like, I don't know. It probably is. It is being narcissistic because I'm like, just listen to me.
Now, because if you think about it, you're striking while the iron's hot, man. Like they say that. It's like you're on a morning show, then you got your podcast. So you're doing a lot of stuff while you're hot right now. You got to do it. So that way, whenever something happens, you can always fall back on whatever, There's a lot of people that think just because I was guilty of this, I got complacent. I was like, oh, man, I'm on the #1 afternoon show. What do I got to do now,
Yeah, I made it.
You get complacent, man, and then, you miss out on all the other opportunities. Like when Ali was reaching out to me, hey, man, I think you should do comedy and all the stuff, And I'd be like, yeah. You get like that, and then, when everything's taken underneath, you don't have nothing to fall back on. Yeah. When I got let go from the hip-hop station, I was like, I wasted my money on stupid stuff.
I'm bad at that for sure. I'm bad at wasting my money on dumb shit.
But it's trial and error, man. Like I've had so many people that were the age that I am now. When I was younger, they would be like, "Hey, dude, this ain't forever. Save your money, invest it wisely, because once radio's over, it's over." And I'd be like, yeah. And, you keep putting it on, but until you live it,
right?
You're like, oh, that's what they were talking about. So that's why, like, it's difficult, man. And, I was partying a lot, man. Like, when I was working on the hip-hop station, man, most of my broadcasts were at a strip club,
Right.
So I would be broadcasting live from a strip club, and I was like, yeah, and it's like, I'm getting paid to go to a strip club, So, like, stuff like that. And then you can easily get caught up in that lifestyle and stuff.
Oh, 100%.
I was known, like, as the strip club king for, like, about 2-3 years, man. And, like, on social media, I would post a picture of a girl dancing on a pole. I'd be like, hey, I'm live here right now. Boom, boom, boom. Somebody would always report my pictures on Instagram, And that's why, like, I kind of, like, gotten away from social media, because it's like, yeah, you're trying to promote, but then, somebody will always either get offended and stuff like that. So
people love being offended.
And, dude, and then it got to the point to where I was just like, man, let me just start. I was just posting stuff that I thought was funny. I think it's funny. It's going on my personal. But then you kind of got to start like, oh, you got to censor yourself, a little bit sometimes. Yeah. And I was the type of guy that, oh, that's funny. It's going up. Oh, that's funny.
You don't think about it.
And then you start reading the comments and you're like, I used to pick fights. Like people would say coming. I would be like,
Yeah.
I would go back and forth. I used to like that. But then I was just like, man, it's such a waste of time.
I still like to do it sometimes. Sometimes it's fun.
Sometimes it's fun. Don't get me wrong. Every now and then,
you just gotta. Somebody says something really dumb, you're like, all right, we gotta cut you out on that.
Something they'll hit you up, And like before, there would be something to where I'll be like, hey, we're having a charity event here, doing this and doing that, and there would be somebody that would say on there, oh, that's funny. You weren't looking so charitable last night at the strip club doing this and doing that and that. And then I would be like, this mother, you're trying to do something good, but somebody's always got to bring you down.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, hey, appreciate your comment, but yeah, I'm human, whatever. But instead of trying to like bring me down, why don't you try to do something about it and help this great thing that I got going on, a charity thing? Why don't you come and help instead of trying to do man, you never hear nothing from
Why
me.
not you hustle as much as you hate?
Yeah, and it's stuff like that. But then, like I said, man, I got tired of it's energy wasted, dude. And then I would just be like, man, when you let them know, when you reply to them, it's like, oh, I got them. You give them that pleasure.
Oh yeah, you gotta like pretend like you didn't see it.
Dude, I don't, man. Like now I look at something and I'll be like, no, I'm not gonna go at it. Not gonna go at it. I'm not gonna go at it. So it's just fun, man. Like sometimes I would be bored. I would just do that. But now it's like, nah, man, chill on that.
Well, do you want to do some segments with us, man? We're gonna do what would Jesus do, not cool, and answers if you're down to get a little weird with us.
Let's do it.
All right. Before we do that, this what would Jesus segment is brought to you by our good friends at Southern Star Brewing Company. I'm drinking a strawberry bombshell.
The strawberry.
The strawberry, my favorite of the Southern Star beers. They are doing beer to go. I know that times are tough right now, but hey, we want to support local, and Southern Star is as local as it fucking gets. They have beer to go, and you can go pick it up on Thursdays from noon to 6, Fridays and Saturdays from noon to 7 p.m., and then Sundays from noon to 6 p.m. as well. And then their outdoor bar is open Friday and Saturday at the same hours that their beer to go is available. Thursdays noon to 6, Fridays and Saturdays noon to 7, and Sundays noon to 6 p.m. They're up at 3525 North Fraser Street up in Conroe. You can also get Southern Star at like Specs, Total Wine and more, Goody Goody, any liquor store really. I know H-E-B and Randall's and Kroger, I've seen them there too. So just most of your grocery stores, you can go there. But if you want to go to the brewery, it's an awesome brewery. You're going to have a great time. They're being very sanitary there, only serving you in the one-time use cups. They're being very smart, one person at the bar at a time. And I like what they're doing up there at Southern Star Brewing Company. And also it is an election year, and it's more important to vote now than it's ever been before. So head over to bombshell2020.com because you want to decide, do you want the red Bombshell Blonde can or the blue Bombshell Blonde can? Right now I'm looking at the red. I'm thinking I'm Team Red. I was Team Blue last time. Right now I'm Team Red. Bombshell 2020, and you can place your vote for what color you think the Bombshell Blonde can should be.
Do they have a keg of that strawberry for sale?
I'm sure they do.
I need a keg, dude. That's what I'm like.
Yeah, they gave me so many when they were about to like do away with it for a little bit, and then we just bitched on the podcast, so they brought it back. And they were like, "Well, hey, all right, you guys complained enough. Like, here, we're putting strawberry blonde."
We heard your voice.
I was like, "It's not just a summer beer; it should be an all-year-round beer. I want it now."
Dude, yeah, because like
it's so good.
They should be, because if they're good, man. I've tried that one and I liked it. I'm not the guy that'll drink like flavor beer or anything like that. I'm just like straight up beer.
And that's kind of how I was too. And then this is like, it's perfect. It's a perfect mix.
Yeah. And then, dude, when I tried that one, I was like, wait a minute, this ain't that bad. And then when we tried it, when we were at Tessa's place, and dude, I don't remember how many I drank, but they were good.
That's the thing about Southern Star. Like, Southern Star was already my favorite brewery beforehand. I love, like, Bombshell Blonde was my favorite beer of all time before they sponsored the podcast. And then they did sponsor the podcast, and then they created the Strawberry Bombshell Blonde. And I was like, yeah, this is my new favorite. And so I just, every time I meet anybody, like Chile was saying, Alex was like, try this fucking new beer. Like, I'm like, hey, have you tried the Strawberry Bombshell Blonde? I push it on everybody. And they're like, all right, dude, is this another new fucking beer? And I'm like, just try it. I promise you're going to like it. They always like it.
It's good, man.
It's dope. It's dope. Southern Star Brewing Company, though, the official beer sponsor of Past the Great Podcast and this What Would Jesus Do segment. Now, Chili.
Okay.
what would Jesus do? You remember those bracelets everybody had
Yeah.
at one point? So my friend was telling me, like,
Wait.
Okay.
Is it Jesus or Jesus? Because my
Ooh.
compadre Jesus down the street. So
I think it's Jesus. I think
like
it's Jesus.
the one up in the
Man upstairs.
Oh,
That
okay.
guy.
Because I was about to say, if it was my homeboy
You
Jesus,
could just call him over.
yeah, he would just be like, what would he do? I don't know. He'd be at the strip club or he'd be drinking beer.
I don't even know what Jesus is doing.
Yeah.
So I was at a bachelor party and I was talking about something that happened there, and my friend's like, I wonder what Jesus would do in that situation. And I was like, that's a funny bit. I should do a segment on that.
He
So
would try to save her.
so yeah. So I was like, okay, if you guys have a situation that Jesus would find himself in like a modern day time, throw him in 2020, what would Jesus do in that situation? Hit us up. Use the hashtag PTGWWJD to @PassTheGravyPod. I am at Alex J. Middleton Chile. You're at the Chile, right?
Yeah, THECHILE.
Follow him on Twitter and on Instagram under that handle, and then go like his Facebook fan page too. But we hashtag PTGWWJD, Pass the Gravy Pod on Twitter. That's how we find them. And this is our little jingle from our boy Jingle Blake. He has put this one together.
Jesus, what would Jesus do? Jesus, what would Jesus do? Put him in a situation in a matter of time. If you wrote this jingle, do you think he'd make it rhyme? So think about this crazy world in which we live today, and how would Jesus handle it in any given way?
This week's What Would Jesus Do ironically comes from our good buddy Jingle Blake Wonder. Blake says, what would Jesus do if he had to save the Earth from an incoming asteroid? How would he do it? So there's an asteroid coming, and Jesus is like, all right, I got to take care of this bad boy.
He would call Bruce
We've seen
Willis.
that. Yeah, I was about to say, we've seen that happen. It's called Armageddon.
Yeah, he would call Bruce Willis. Actually, he would send down Michael Clark Duncan because he's already in heaven. He would send him down to go recruit Rockhound, with Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, yeah. Steven Tyler's
Bruce
daughter.
Willis. Yeah.
She'd just be hanging out with Ben.
Yeah, and they would just redo that whole Armageddon.
Yeah, so really,
that's what they would do.
Jesus, he's already sacrificed himself for mankind, so I feel like you can't double sacrifice yourself, you know? It's double jeopardy. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But I think, he would end up having to just sacrifice Bruce Willis for the greater good.
Yeah. Ben Affleck. Let's go Ben Affleck. I like Bruce Willis.
Well, remember, Ben Affleck was going to do it because he pulled the short straw, but then Bruce Willis is like, take care of my daughter and give this guy a patch.
As long as I don't have to pay taxes for the rest of I feel like I would volunteer so I wouldn't have to pay taxes.
Yeah,
you know?
That's a good point. I already paid my taxes.
And I could sleep
every
in the
4
white
years,
horse.
right?
The white horse. Got to sleep in the white horse.
I like
White
that.
house.
So I think Jesus would ultimately have to sacrifice Bruce Willis for the greater good of the world.
Yeah, I think he would just kind of be like, "Oh, look, I don't have time for this. I'm dealing with the coronavirus."
Right.
He would just kind of like,
Bruce, this is on you, bud.
Yeah, his hand would just kind of come in, and he would just kind of like block it, like Matumbo. He'd be like,
he Matumbos it. Okay.
That's how I kind of feel like he would do.
Okay, I mean, both of those are very possible. I could see either of them happening, really. But that was our What Would Jesus Do segment. Use the hashtag PTGWWJD @PassGrayPod. Hit us up, and your question could be the next one. We've had a lot of people not like the podcast doing that. That really upset a lot of people. And I was like, look, we're just having fun. I don't really want to be too into the religion stuff. Like, I don't want to get too crazy about it. We're just making jokes. I think Jesus is a funny guy. He probably has some laughs.
Dude,
you know?
There wouldn't be any comedy if he didn't like fun.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Think about that.
Our next segment. Our next segment is called Not Cool. And Chili, this is the one I talked about where I just vented. I just wanted to find, originally we were trying to find a way to fill an hour, and I was not good at it. But I was like, if I just can vent and bitch about something that's happened to me. Now, you can get stabbed. You can stub your toe. Like, you can get in a car wreck. Like, all of that could be a not cool. It could be anything. Just, it's got to be something that makes you be like, that's not cool that happened. And this is our intro for the Not Cool segment. Not cool, man. Dude, that's not cool.
Not cool. Not cool.
Dude, that's not cool, man. Dude, that's not cool.
Not cool. Not cool.
Dude, that's not cool. Not cool. Not cool. I'll go first. So if you want to start marinating, thinking about what you're not cool is, but mine is, it's not really like anything crazy. It's just not having hot water or running out of hot water. Whenever you're in the shower and then you see that like hot water start going down, you go, oh no. Like, that's the worst. That's the worst, isn't it?
It's funny because I'll backdoor that with saying, you know what's not cool? The fact that I woke up early to go to work and I turned a shower on and there was not hot water, and I thought that my water heater was going out. So I went into the garage and then I was like, let me turn it. Oh, it looks like it's not turned up. So I turned it all the way up, and now it's so hot, but yet I'm too lazy to go and turn it back.
It's too hot. So there's like
So
no
that's
medium
cool.
temperature now?
Nah, I moved it and I'm just too lazy to go and do it.
So it just goes from like cold to like scalding hot?
Yeah. So it's
no.
like you turn it on and it's cold, and then I turn it all the way down to where the hot is.
Uh-huh.
And then once it starts getting warm, I turn it to where the cold is, and it's still hot.
Oh.
But it's obviously it's tolerable since I haven't moved it. So that's just it.
That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. That's funny. They're both kind of the same thing. But like, there's nothing worse than when you like you wake up, especially like, we're up early in the morning. But if you wake up and like the hot water's out, and you're like, damn it, you're like you gotta like power through it. Anyways, like, I just gotta take a cold shower.
Because the first day that happened, it was cold, and I was like, oh. Now I'm awake. Now I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I guess that does help.
I'm like, I cannot go to work without taking a shower. That's just me. So I was like, shit. I was like, all right, let's tough it out. I'm in there like.
Those are way faster showers when there's only cold water, though.
Usually you take about a 10, 15-minute shower. This one was like about 2.5.
Yeah. Just I gotta get everything. That's it. Done.
Yeah. You gotta watch behind your little peanuts and everything, man. So, you gotta get the essential areas.
Right.
First.
But
And
the
then
cold
after
definitely
that,
will wake you up if it's the first thing in the morning.
Oh yeah. It was just say that's not a fun thing to do. That's not cool, man.
It's not cool. Not cool.
That's cold.
That was a good one. I mean, it is cool actually. It's just way too cool.
It's like Outcast, ice cold. All right.
Right. All right. Well, that was the not cool segment. We got one last one we do, and it is called our answers segment. Now, let me tell you, I got to give you one answer beforehand. And if you got a smelly home or a smelly car, the answer you need is Little M air fresheners. They are the best air fresheners in the whole wide world. And if you're one of the people that can still go out shopping right now, go and check out littlemshop.com. That's littleemshop.com. All orders are 20% off until further notice. You use the code HOMEBODY at checkout. And as always, there's free shipping when you spend $10 or more. You get like 5 air fresheners. You're going to get free shipping. Why wouldn't you take up this offer? If you're missing your friends, let them know by sending them something from Little M. Be like, hey, your house kind of stinks. Here you go. Here's some air fresheners. Clean it up. They have lots of low-priced items that are both fun and useful. They have air fresheners to freshen up not only your car, but any space you have. I know a lot of you guys have smelly homes and cars right now. Hand-painted journals to document this super crazy time that we're living in, and prints to decorate your new home office. They also have stickers to give to your kids to shut them the fuck up. littlemshop.com. That's littleemshop.com. When you use the code HOMEBODY at checkout, you're going to get 20% off of your order. That's the code HOMEBODY at checkout for 20% off your order when you go to littlemshop.com, littleemshop.com, and free shipping on all orders of over $10 or more. Little M air fresheners, the best air fresheners in the entire world, and this week's sponsor of the Answers segment.
We need to have one that attaches to the tail of a dog, because all my dogs are gassy as hell, man.
Oh, I might tell them to start working on that.
Yeah,
get
man,
a prototype
neutralize it. Neutralize that.
Yeah, it'd be natural. Yeah, neutralizing it.
And one for me too, because I fart a lot.
Just hang it. Yeah, put it like in the back pocket in your pants or something like that. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Okay, this is the answer segment. Now, when I was a young lad, I was in Miss Winter's 3rd grade class, and I was told class there's no such thing as a stupid question. I raised my hand and was laughed at. And I can't remember what I asked, but I remember like, dude, one day when you're in charge, you're gonna say there's no such thing as a stupid question. You're gonna mean it. So if you got a high thought, you see something on a billboard, you just have a random thing coming through your mind, and you're like, I wonder what the guys at Pass the Gravy are gonna have to say. Shoot it on over to us. Use the hashtag PTG Answers to @PassGravyPod on Twitter. And if you're not one of those Twitter types, you can email them in to us, answers@passthegravypod.com. This, guys, is the Answers segment.
Well, if you just answered the question, why don't you just answer the question? Be honest, no big deal. Yeah, answer the question.
Don't change the subject, just answer the fucking question.
Any questions?
Our first question this week comes from our good buddy, David Ruiz. He's up for the Rookie of the Year award for Pass the Grade, but David Ruiz at David_Ruiz90 on Twitter says, if someone dies in a living room, is it still a living room?
Ooh.
I think it is. Like a dead room, like, because you do your living in the living room, you know? So you would have at least one point been living. Like if you're the dead room, that'd be like in a morgue, you know?
That's kind of
where you put dead bodies in a dead room.
But why would they call it a living room? Why do they call it a living room to begin with?
Because you do all your living in it.
That's your house, though. It's like, so instead of
but you're just living and hanging out in that room.
I live in the house?
It could be. Yeah, I guess your bedroom would be your living room, too, because you're still living in it.
Yeah. But as far as that, man, I don't know what you would call it. Just stay the hell away out of this living room?
I think it would be I think it still would be a living room because it's already called a living room.
Not so living room?
Well, I guess for that particular one, maybe. But I think, no, you just died in a living room. If you go to, like, the morgue, that's the dead room because that's just a room full of dead bodies.
It's the icebox, fool, because it's cold.
The icebox would be, yeah. Where they have the little, like, lockers.
Yeah, the little freezers with the sliding
toe tags and stuff.
There.
Yeah, like from CSI. You get it.
I've seen.
You get it.
Yeah, that's where I saw it. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna say it would still be a living room, but that's just really unfortunate. You would die in a living room. It's
very
ironic.
Scary living room.
Yeah, very scary living room. Maybe a haunted living room. Who knows?
But what would you do? Like, where did he die though? Did he die in a chair or the couch? Because
you got to get rid of whatever it was, right?
Yeah, you would have to get rid of the couch or the.
That would be weird. That would be weird.
It was just costing me money. I'd be like, man, go die outside in the front yard.
Just do it somewhere else.
Go do it in the front yard. You know, how inconsiderate of you to bring death into my house.
Now I gotta get new furniture.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. That's like furniture, a couch, $2,000 right there, automatically.
I'm not a millionaire.
Yeah, it's not like we could be like Biggie and be like $2,000. My accountant handles that.
Yeah,
you know?
Here you go.
Yeah, no.
All right, let's move along to our next one. We got Danielle Weston at Danny_Weston on Twitter. She says, what chips would you pick if you could only have one kind of chip for the rest of your life?
Oh.
I'm guessing she's going brand or because it's got to be like tortilla chips or corn chips.
But she said chips. She didn't chips or chips.
I'm going to go brands.
I'm going to go with Mexican restaurant style.
Like the Tostitos Mexican restaurant style one with a little bit of lime on it?
Not the brand. I'm just saying like chips like that you get at a Mexican restaurant because then you can just get any salsa in there and they go good with it.
Yeah. See, I was going to say, I guess like potato chips.
Okay, now if you go to potato chips.
There's just a lot of options that way.
You're talking the ones that you can get at a store, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's like Lay's, Doritos, all that stuff.
I'm a Cool Ranch
chips,
Dorito
right?
type of guy.
I've been trying for years. We started a cult under this guy's where we were trying to say, like, I was like, Doritos, why the fuck why can't I get a mixed bag of ranch and nacho cheese?
I think they might have had them for a little bit.
They don't, and they wouldn't do it. And I made my own, and they were still like, fuck you, Alex. So we hit up HEB. HEB said they'd think about it, never got back to us.
I had like an off-brand once, I think. That's what it was.
We call them Branch Gravitos because we were the branch. They're called Branch Gravitos. We were the Branch Gravidians, and we call them the Branch Gravitos. And I made my own bag. It was delightful. I just it's nice to have a little bit of that Cool Ranch dust on the nacho cheese, and vice versa.
The worst is when you're eating Cool Ranch Doritos and then you're eating them. Well, it's not the worst. It's the coolest thing because then you're done with them and then you look at your fingertips. You see all that ranch, and then you're just like.
That's like the best part of it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But if I had to go with that, if it's like that, I'm going with Cool Ranch Doritos. Because you can get any salsa on it and whatever, and they're still good.
Yeah, and they have some of those the HEB off-brand Doritos. They have that salsa verde ones. I love those. Those are some bomb ones.
Yeah. So, but see, that's like chips and salsa is my weakness. That's like my
Yeah,
weakness.
That's
So,
one of mine too. Emma and I will buy those like $2, $3 like mini bags of chips
Oh, yeah.
where it's just like a bag of mini bags and they'll be gone in like 2 days.
Oh yeah, dude. It's like me. It's just like I don't know what it is. It's like my comfort food, you know.
Dude, chili cheese Fritos, man. Those might be mine.
They're pretty good.
Chili cheese Fritos I could eat forever.
Yeah.
So maybe
Those are
chili
good
cheese
chips.
Fritos.
Those are good. I like those hot
Fritos,
fries.
regular Fritos suck. Like they're okay in Frito pie, but
Well,
you have to
except
put them
that
in something. By themselves, they
if-
kind of suck.
If they're the scoops, they're okay because you can dip them with
Well,
salsa.
but see, you gotta have something with them to make them better.
Yeah. Dude, the funny thing is, like, I remember, like, in high school, like in junior high, no, elementary, when I first tried a Frito pie, I was always like, what the hell is this? I kept hearing everybody, Frito pie, and I tried it. Oh, you ever try to do them at home and they never come out as good?
Dude, Emma made one last Wednesday before we recorded the podcast. It was bomb.
Good. It's like, with me, I always make the mistake. I always add extra of what I want. So they never come out as good.
Oh, yeah, you don't get that perfect mix of it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if I go to, like, get a michelada, you know?
I can't make my own. I fuck up micheladas at home. I got to get at a restaurant where they know what they're doing.
Yeah, because they only give you a minimal, you know, to make it good. And when you're at home, you're like, oh, they put a little extra. Oh, they put an extra lime, you know. Ooh, a little bit extra salt in there. Yeah, that's going to be good. And you try, you're like, ugh.
Yeah. I wish I had just gone with what they gave me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But Frito pies, man, woo, they good.
Frito pies are bomb. So I guess Cool Ranch Doritos for you, and then I'm going to go chili cheese Fritos. But like potato chips, we have to pick a specific type of chip, and then you're going to go Mexican restaurant style chips.
No, because that's not a potato chip. Is it?
Well, I was saying if we had to pick types of chips, then you would go the Mexican restaurant one, right? But then if we had to pick a specific brand of chip, it would be Doritos, Cool Ranch for you, and then So we gave you two answers basically in that one question.
We didn't make sense, but yes,
we didn't make sense, but we made and not making any sense. That might have made the most sense of anything we've said the whole time.
It's like the most not making sense in the history of not making sense.
That it makes sense. So much nonsense that it is sensible. That's what a lot of people are saying.
Write that down, man. You should write that down. I think that's going to be in the Smithsonian pretty soon.
It may be. Quote that from us. All right. Our next question comes from Luke Soin, and Luke says, "Do bats bang upside down?"
Oh,
they sleep upside down. Fuck, I want to know. Google.
I don't know. I feel like they do. They do.
It's kind of kinky, yo.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't try it.
I'm kind of friends off with bats right now, though, after this whole Corona thing.
Yeah. It's not the bat's fault, though.
I mean, it's a little bit the bat's fault.
Dude, now that you said that, dude, one of my friends said, have you seen that picture of all the superheroes bowing down to the doctors and nurses coming out, and then you see all the superheroes, Batman, all of them bowing their head to them. And then somebody did a meme till they focus on Batman, and he was like, it's kind of awkward that because of me that I mean,
that is pretty funny. Okay, so my Google search says naturally the bats copulate hanging upside down, but there are videos of them not doing that too. So it says naturally they would fuck upside down. Just they can also I guess it's like they got different positions, you know? Maybe they're not going like upside down is missionary for bats, but then they can do like doggy style is like not human style, you know? They just get her on her back.
They got their own Kama Sutra style book.
Yeah, the Batma Sutra.
Yeah, the Batma Sutra.
That's what they call it. So yeah, that was a good question actually, and I think we all learned a little bit today. We all have learned a little bit now.
I never thought I would learn something. Well, you learn something every day. You learn something.
And now we know what we've learned today. I'm done learning for the day.
Anything, but
yeah, it probably won't at all. But hey, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. When you go to the bat caves out there in Austin, you can tell people, hey, you know, bats they like to bang upside down too.
just keep repeating it over and over. Like, all right, dude, you've said that 10 times on this tour. Just leave us alone. Did you know?
Some bats might do it standing up,
but not all. Some
get kicked out of that tour.
so fast. Josh Tree Coddle writes in at Joshua Tree 713 on Twitter. He says, if two meth heads start dating, is it considered speed dating or just messing around?
Speed dating.
I like speed dating. I think it's like speed dating.
I'm going with speed dating.
Short and sweet. I like that.
Yeah. Speed dating wins.
All right, we got one question left. It's from the reigning MVP of Past Gravy, our boy Todd Voss at as_scene_by_TV. And Todd Voss says, my kids watch a cartoon where the character's common phrase is "Let's blaze." Are they trying to teach my kids to smoke?
Yeah.
You gotta assume they are.
It's Let's Blaze, or they could be teaching them how. Oh no, I'm not gonna say that. I was like, yeah, they're going with that, man. I'm going with that.
They're trying to push child drug use on
what kind of cartoons are you letting them watch?
Is it like Adult Swim? Because I don't think you should let the kids watch Adult Swim.
Yeah. Let's Blaze, unless they're like blazing into outer space.
That's probably what they're doing. I don't know what show it is, but
it might be
Let's
like a
Blaze. To me, it's always about getting high.
See, when I hear just Blaze, I think of the
or starting forest fires, which neither are great, you know.
Yeah, just Blaze, the hip hop producer. That's the one I think of him. So, you know.
So yes, they're definitely trying to get your kids to do illegal drugs.
Yeah, most of the Just Blaze references that I've heard have to do with weed.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can concur on that.
Yeah.
So that was a good question, Todd. And update us if you have to write a strongly worded letter to the network. We'll be behind you. We want to find out.
Finish it up with why is the carpet wet?
Why is that? Yeah, and also why is the carpet wet, Todd?
Yeah.
So that's perfect. That's perfect. But hey, that was the Andrew segment. That was the podcast. Chile, thanks for coming on, dude. At the Chile on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. CHILE. Give your boy a follow. Let him know that you dug his episode of Pass the Gravy. I feel like I don't know. It's weird saying bye because I'm gonna see you in 5 hours. It feels like.
Yeah, we'll see you in 5 hours and be like, "I'm coming on my show, jackass."
I will not be saying thank you for coming on my show, jackass. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Dude, honestly, I only came because you bribed me with beer. You said, hey, dude, I'll give you some Southern Star Strawberry beers.
Dude, I'll bring you some strawberry beer tomorrow. Dude. I got you, dog.
Nah, man, it was my pleasure, man. It was way overdue. I hope we didn't.
Well, you did one, but it was that drunk cast where you fell asleep after the first 5 minutes.
I don't even
You've been on it, but not really been on it.
Yeah, now I can remember it.
Now, now we're in business. But all right, I'll
hey, we'd like to thank Tessa for making that brief appearance.
Yeah, Tessa, thanks for coming on. You should all tweet her. Tweet Tessa at Test1, Test2 and be like, thanks for ruining Alex and Chili's podcast. Yeah. And just tweet her that. Don't reply to her if she says anything. Just thanks for ruining their podcast just to see if she'll get in her head about it. She'll get in her head about it. Yeah. All right. Well, dude, thanks for coming on again. I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll definitely do this again soon, man. But until then, yeah, you too, bud. And then until then, pass the gravy, you bunch of bitches.
I'm gonna take my horse through that old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Take my horse to that